We just want volunteers, not hostages. At this point, because
You serious? I can't hear you, dude. I think you're muted. I still can't hear you. Check your mic settings on StreamYard. There it is.
Do you hear me now?
Yeah, I got you now.
Oh, son of a Christmas whore.
I can't tell you how many times
Son of a Christmas whore.
Exactly.
You know what? The beauty of it is that now we can start over.
Yes. Yes.
Because you missed the best part.
You know what? I got you. I got your link. I looked at it, and then I passed out. I sat and I've been editing all afternoon, getting my podcast caught up and everything, and setting up for my streams for the rest of the week. And I said, okay, I'm gonna be fine. I'm gonna be fine. I'm gonna be fine. Nope. I leaned back in this chair and I was out like a light. Sorry, I'm late. I am here. I'm ready to rock.
All right, so let me do my marker so that way I know where to edit and start the show. Okay, so all right, here we go.
I mean, we just want volunteers, not hostages. At this point, because
So, Myles Garrett. We want volunteers, not hostages. Oh, by the way, this is Brian Snow from Snowman Multimedia. Would you like to promote your channel, sir?
What's going on, folks? Check me out at youtube.com/@snowmanmultimedia and at Snowman Sportsnet. That's my play-by-play channel.
All right. So, apparently, what Myles Garrett said at the end of the season, because the question was raised: would he request seeking a trade if the Browns don't improve in the offseason?
Request nothing.
And he said, well, it depends on what they tell me what the plan is.
Bullshit.
To which Joe Bitonio, when told that by Myles Garrett, said, well, if Myles is unhappy, I'll either request a trade too or just retire. But keep in mind that Joe Bitonio, I mean, really, in all honesty, you look at his stats, he should have retired 2 years ago.
Yep.
He is not the guard that when I first saw him as a rookie, he was mauling the defensive tackles, like pushing them 5-10 yards past the line of scrimmage after the whistle blew.
Now they're mauling him.
Right. He's a liability over there. And it didn't help that your left tackle position, I mean, they call this dude Thanos because he looks like Thanos.
But he ain't acting like Thanos. He's not wiping people out.
Right. I mean, this dude doesn't even finish the play. He'll block for 3 seconds and be like, well, time for lunch.
Yep.
And then stand back and watch on somebody.
That's why the Cleveland quarterbacks were sacked as many times as they have in the last two seasons. That side right there. That side.
Yeah. That's why, like, the tackle that they drafted, Jones, they drafted him to play right tackle. Number 4 out of OSU. But he's built like a left tackle.
Yep.
And it's like just converting. Converting.
But
so that's what they did.
But which team are we talking about here?
We're talking about the Browns.
I rest my case.
when they finally did, he was balling his ass out, and then he got hurt.
Note the sentence, folks. When they finally did. Note the capitalized word.
Like, you should have had him battling it out with Jedrick Wills in training camp.
But of course, the Browns didn't think so and said,
No.
Damn. I mean, what the fuck is this? What is this? What is this shit, man? Oh my God.
I tell you exactly what that is. BGS, if you would.
Now that's bull.
Like, what?
There's your answer. Right there. There's your answer, sir. Right there.
Now that's bull.
When they started the season, before they started the season, you knew Nick Chubb
Yep.
was going to be out until the middle of the season.
Yep. Which means your running game, unless you got a premier back, was going to suffer.
Deshaun Watson is coming off of having his throwing shoulder completely reconstructed.
Yep.
What in the Christmas fuck all? You knew your offensive line was better run blocking than pass blocking because of age.
Your Christmas what?
Your Christmas fuck all.
Okay.
You knew.
You knew
You
it.
knew you had a shaky offensive line, and their strength is run blocking. You were unsure at wide receiver, but then you traded for Jerry Jeudy, who is a younger version of who's the guy they had? Amari Cooper.
Amari Cooper.
He's a younger, faster, more athletic version, shiny new toy version of Amari Cooper because he can make the catch. He can make every catch.
I thought I went crazy when I talked about my teams. I am adoring this.
I mean, do understand? We all thought that Jerry Jeudy was a bust. Did we not?
Yes, we did.
He comes to Cleveland. He teams up with Jamarcus Russell.
Of all quarterbacks.
And this motherfucker, do understand, it took week 7.
Yep.
It took week 7. Half the season was gone. And this dude put up 1,000 yards.
Mm-hmm.
246 in a primetime game against Denver, smoking them.
Yep.
Would have been more had one throw just been on target.
I think he had another 200-yard game, didn't he? I swore
Yes.
Jerry Jeudy had a couple of 200-yard games.
Who picked him up and put him on his fancy team and was killing motherfuckers with him?
That would be that guy above me.
In the waiver wire. I'm like, oh shit.
You snatched up Jerry Jeudy faster than Jerry Rice snagged a pass from Joe Montana.
Dude, he was winning me games by himself.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
He was eating.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a bust. What did the Jets owner's son say? No, Dad, we want to trade for him.
Like
his Madden rating is 77.
Exactly. I didn't like his Madden rating.
Okay, son.
Are you kidding me? He didn't like his. You're gonna say he didn't like his Madden rating, so he's going to trade him. Jets gonna Jets. Browns gonna Brown. Period.
It turns out in Denver that the problem was at quarterback, and in all honesty, I bet you I've watched Brandon Perna, the guy that does
I love
That's Good Sports.
Yep.
Yeah, he was. I bet he wished that Jerry Jeudy was on this team now.
Oh yeah,
with now finally having a good quarterback because Bo Nix is a damn good quarterback.
At quarterback,
yeah, he's a damn good quarterback.
Brandon Perna has me laughing almost every week. He's a nut. Tom Grossi's a nut. Urinating Tree is a nut. 5 Point Vids. I love watching it. Scooter Magruder is an absolute asshole, but he's a nut, and I love watching him. Okay? I absolutely love watching those guys. I want you and I to form a group like that, where we come together once a week and just talk shit about the headlines.
Well, I mean, we'll see what the headlines produce. I mean, I'm only on here.
The headlines for this.
It's only look. If it's a big story, a big story to me, then here I am.
Mm-hmm.
Here I am, and this is the biggest story in the NFL.
You're always here. You know what Myles Garrett is saying? Get me out of here!
I know. So, all right. So let's push forward.
Yes,
because I mean, there's so many reasons why this shit is going down, but ultimately, I blame it on Stefanski and Barry.
Yep.
But so let's talk. Okay, so let's get back into Myles Garrett. So
you let your prime-time defensive player.
You tell me how many draft picks do you think Myles Garrett is worth?
Depends on the team.
No, just period.
How many draft picks is Myles Garrett worth? Let me think.
Myles Garrett, the greatest defensive end in modern football.
Yep, I'd say about 8.
You say about 8?
8.
That's good Lord. I wouldn't go that high. But I was thinking, but I am going high with the picks without being too greedy.
Mm-hmm.
My starting price, if I'm Andrew Berry, my starting price set in stone is, if you want him, because we're not going to hold him hostage, but if you want him, I want your first, second, and third this year, and your second and third next year. That's my starting price.
I'd throw in another pick for that.
Well, here's the byline. May the best draft picks win.
Yeah.
However you want to play it, but this is my starting price.
Yeah.
Let the best draft picks win.
Mm-hmm.
So, who do you think, or what type of team do you think would match that starting price?
The Jets would try, but they would mess it up. The Falcons would try, but they would mess it up. I'm not going to say anything about the Cowgirls.
Well, let's go through it.
Mm-hmm.
You think Kansas City?
Hell no. They're set.
Philadelphia?
Nah. Too stupid. Howie Roseman won't pull the trigger.
I mean, they did rob the Titans of their best wide receiver and best defensive back. And they did rob the Giants of the best running back in the league.
And they're about to lose one of those players in free agency.
Yeah.
They're about to lose A.J. Brown.
Really? Yeah. So
because A.J. Brown's had enough.
Yeah, because let's
think of how he was acting during the NFC Championship game.
Okay, tell us why that is. I want to hear your take.
A.J. Brown's had it. Period. A.J. Brown has had it. You can throw the Super Bowl in there. You can throw NFC Championship in there. You can throw the production of Saquon Barkley to help the team, which Philadelphia finally did the right thing and gave the ball to Saquon Barkley. And he came within 105 yards of eclipsing the all-time record held by the great Eric Dickerson. But the problem is Jalen Hurts is too iffy. Can I get a witness in this congregation? Jalen Hurts is too...
I concur.
Jalen Hurts is too iffy. Listen.
I concur.
The Eagles are going to screw around and lose the Super Bowl because they're going to depend on Jalen Hurts and not Saquon Barkley. If Saquon Barkley gets 200 yards in the Super Bowl, 1, he would match a record, and 2, the Eagles will win. That would be the right plan. But we're talking about Nick Skinny Jeans Sirianni. Thank you, Cool McCain, for that nickname. Jalen Hurts is not a primetime quarterback, period. I said it so many times over on my show, and people have come after me. How can you say that about Jalen Hurts? Have you seen him play?
Dude,
you want me to break that? You want me to
why
break
is Saquon Barkley? Why was he 107 yards away from breaking the all-time rushing record in the season?
Yep.
Why? Did you ask yourself why? Your star wide receiver is reading a peace and relaxation book on the sidelines in the middle of the game.
In the middle of the NFC Championship.
He's sitting there with his legs crossed, with his helmet off, reading a book on how to find inner peace. Because Jalen Hurts keeps missing the reason. The neighbor across the street, he's an Eagles fan.
Mm-hmm.
I've told him this so many times. I said, dude, y'all would be a great team if it wasn't for Jalen Hurts.
Yep.
What you mean? I'm like, dude, everybody knows that if he's uncomfortable with the first read because he's slow at processing, by the time he should have made, by the time he's ready to make the throw, he should have already made the throw.
Yes.
So now he's dancing in the pocket trying to find a way out.
Mm-hmm. And his footwork is awful.
Yes.
His footwork, he gets happy feet so quickly. You know who Jalen? Listen, I'm going to make a comparison, and a lot of Pittsburgh fans are not going to like me, but I don't care. I've watched enough football to make this comparison. You know who Jalen Hurts reminds me of? Justin Fields.
Yes. Yes.
Can't read the defense, slow in processing. Footwork is awful. He misses throws often, which is why AJ Brown is going to leave and go to the left coast. Right?
Where do you think he's going to go?
San Francisco.
Chargers?
San Francisco.
Why would he go to San Francisco? Y'all loaded at wide receiver.
Yeah, and we need some insurance.
Dude, he going to want to start. If anything, he would probably go to the Chargers.
He'll start. Gary Kubiak's the offensive coordinator. He'll make it work.
How you going to make it work? You already 4 deep. You 4 deep.
Who's the quarterback?
Brock Purdy. But you're 4 deep, and you're a power running team. You're a play action pass team. You're not a passing team. This year proved that.
Which is why A.J. Brown's going to be fantastic should the Niners go after him. And this is all speculation. Let me just tell the fans, this is all speculation.
Okay, do y'all have the cap space? Let's say it happens. Do y'all got the cap space for that?
Yep. We worked a couple of contracts. Because the first person we're going to take care of March the 2nd is going to be Brock Purdy.
So
and the market is going to go, and the market's going to go sideways, and the fans are going to go sideways. You know why the fans are going to go sideways? Because, and you've heard it, you've done a game with me. They are all going to say that Brock Purdy does not deserve the extension that he is potentially going to get on March 2nd.
Oh, he absolutely deserves it.
Absolutely. This is why I hate people that judge the quarterback position without even looking at the game. He absolutely deserves it. He came in a situation where the 49ers were drowning because they lost Trey Lance for the season. They lost Jimmy Garoppolo, and all Brock Purdy has done.
Oh, don't forget your running back.
All Brock Purdy has done is come in and ball out.
I mean, yeah, he was by him. It was him. Because I also picked up y'all wide receiver.
Debo Samuel.
What's his name?
Debo Samuel.
Number 15. No, not Debo. Hell no.
Jennings.
I also started Jennings. He was balling out.
Oh man,
my wide receiving core was balling out. Jennings and Judy were balling out for me.
Yep.
And I was like, shit, that's Brock Purdy. I didn't even know that Jennings. I thought Jennings was still in the slot receiver spot. I didn't know he was the number 2.
Yeah, they move him around.
Right. That's why what's the name? Debo Samuel was getting all that flack. It's like you out here mushing our kicker in the face But you out here dropping fucking passes, bro. How would you like it if all of a sudden the kicker mushed you in your face?
Mm-hmm.
You out here fucking up. You think I'm doing this on purpose? Shit. It's the same situation, dummy. You think I'm trying to lose?
Yeah.
Damn.
They think so. Listen, they think so. They think so.
That's
Phil,
why
I'm gonna say this right now.
with trading.
I've had people ask me what my pick is. I haven't revealed my pick. This is the first show, not even on my morning show. This is the first place I'm going to reveal my pick. And it's a simple sentence. Philadelphia is going to get fucked up.
You know what?
Philadelphia is going to get pulverized.
This is what's going to happen. They're going to single high safety their ass.
Yep.
And just concentrate on stopping Saquon Barkley. Because do understand that they're going to be faking blitzes. It's going to be the read and react defense. It's going to be the read and react defense.
Which is
with a cover one on Saquon Barkley.
Which has been Steve Spagnuolo's calling card.
Right. So
for as long as he's been a coordinator in the NFL, Steve Spagnuolo's calling card has been read and react, whether he had a losing team or a winning team. That has always been his calling card.
And he's got these exotic blitzes that flustered Buffalo. It flustered Buffalo in the first half.
It most certainly did.
It fucked them up in the fourth quarter. It fucked them up the whole game. They didn't know where the blitz was coming from. Even the announcers was saying that, like, wow, like they load up the left side, but the blitz comes from the right.
Yep. You know why defenses don't do well against Steve? You know why offenses don't do well against Steve Spagnuolo?
Because he knows how to call a defense.
He calls a hell of a Spagnuolo calls a hell of a game.
Yeah, he confuses the quarterback. And while the quarterback is being confused, the offensive line is being overwhelmed from the interior by Chris Jones. Chris Jones pushes the pocket inside, which forces the quarterback to move around. That's why you got who's the guy that they have on the edge?
Karlaftis.
Yeah, Karlaftis, because Karlaftis really is he's like a linebacker / defensive end. He's not a big guy. He's a medium-sized guy, but he can chase down the quarterback that may have escaped from the pocket. And he's nimble enough to get a good pass rush. He's like TJ Watt if he played defensive end. So he'll chase down the quarterback from the right because most quarterbacks are right-handed. They want to flush you to the left. That's where the blitz is coming from.
Yep. Preach.
That's why they overloaded to the right. You thinking it's coming from the right. You got the quick read to the right. You think. You drop back. The linebacker, the corner, whatever, they drop back in the coverage. They take away your first read. And by the time you get the dancing in the pocket, the blitz is on you to the left. You can't escape to the right because of Karlaftis.
You know,
here comes a linebacker running free and a safety possibly on the left side. You're fucked.
Just ask Josh Allen 2 weeks ago.
That's how you stop Jalen Hurts. You take away his first read.
And the Chiefs are going to feast on that.
Yeah. And your best shot is to try to go somewhere deep with Brown. That's why you had a single high safety.
And Kansas City will not allow the deep passes like they did in Super Bowl 57.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to break
they would not allow Hurts 300. They would not allow Jalen Hurts 300 yards. They will not make that mistake again. They're going to be ready, even more ready for him this time.
Yeah,
because Philadelphia's about to get fucked up.
I don't even, bruh. I'm still being stubborn and saying I'm not watching the game. But at any rate, so Buffalo. You think they would pull the trigger? Because Von Miller gave them nothing this year. Matt
Nope.
Ain't gave them nothing in 2 years.
Nope. Will the Buffalo Bills pull the trigger on one Myles Garrett? Let's see. What button am I looking for? Nope, that's not it. That's not it either. No. George Carlin.
Get the fuck out of here!
You think they're
one.
satisfied with their pass rush?
Yeah. But will they pull the trigger on Myles Garrett? I think this will answer your question.
So, who do you think they would go for pass rush then?
Houston's a good destination.
No,
This
I
is
mean
what-
as far as Buffalo.
As far as Buffalo,
Yeah,
where would they go for a pass rusher?
right.
Is that the question? Okay, that's the question.
That's the question. I mean, they're picking all the way at 30th.
Mm-hmm. They'll probably find a pass rusher in the third round.
Third round? Jesus Christ.
They'll find a pass. Because think about it, man. First 2 rounds are loaded, and teams are going to be snatching them off the board in a hurry.
Let's see. Yeah, it looks like a pretty deep draft.
Yep.
Yeah, it looks like a pretty
Yeah.
deep drafted edge.
People want to try and criticize me because they think I don't do my homework when I come with these wild takes. Motherfucker, have you watched my show? Have you listened to me over the years? I does my research.
Okay. Yeah, they can probably wait for the draft.
Yep.
Yeah,
Third
they can
round.
probably wait for the draft.
Third round. Because this draft is loaded. Okay.
Let's say Washington. Because they couldn't rush the passer for shit.
No, they couldn't. Washington could be a good team to go after him.
They got a young secondary that could definitely benefit from it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they made it all the way to the conference championship game.
Without a pass rush.
Right.
They made it without a pass rush.
Yeah. Imagine if you had a pass rush.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how many holes did it look like that defense needed to fill that wasn't defensive line related?
Mm-hmm. Imagine if the Redskins had a pass rush in the NFC Championship game. Saquon Barkley doesn't hit that 60-yard touchdown to start the scoring for Philadelphia. Imagine if the Redskins had a pass rush. Imagine if, I'll say it again for those of us in the cheap seats at old RFK Stadium, which I had a chance to visit back in the 90s. Imagine if the Washington Redskins, and yes, I said it right, Washington Redskins had a pass rush.
You think they pulled the trigger?
They could be one of the teams that could pull the trigger. Yeah, they got room. They
Yeah,
got room. They got room for the next 4 years.
Oh yeah, they got salary cap space like a motherfucker.
They are tops in salary cap room. They got salary. They got salary cap room for years and years and years on end.
They could take on this contract and fill the other holes through free agency.
Yep. And not blink about it either.
Which would probably be at linebacker if you weren't satisfied. Or maybe the secondary if you weren't satisfied.
Exactly.
Maybe making some trades might be better than draft picks.
Mm-hmm. Or you cross them up and make some trades for some draft picks. And then you hold on to them. And then you hold on to them. See how your team develops under Dan Quinn. All right, see how your team gets better under Dan Quinn.
Can you imagine Dan Quinn having a better version than what's that linebacker in Dallas?
Micah Parsons?
Yeah, can you imagine him having a the freaking Rolls Royces of Micah Parsons
Listen,
at defensive end.
let me tell you about Micah Parsons. All right, Micah Parsons is getting worn the fuck out.
Yeah.
They are wearing him out for no reason whatsoever. By the end of this coming season, Micah Parsons will want out of Dallas, or because either an injury is going to hit him or a lack of production is going to hit him, and he's going to go bitch about it on his podcast, which he can. He does have the right. He's going to go bitch about it on his podcast, and Brian Schottenheimer is going to sit him.
Look,
watch this.
The simple fact that they hired Brian Schottenheimer, I would have immediately.
I would have immediately went to the brass and said, "Get me the fuck out of here! I don't care what it takes."
Yeah, get me out of here. Just like if I was a Jets player, I would have, as soon as the season ended, I would have put in my formal request for a trade.
Yep.
You got an 18.
And
your
make sure
son
and then you make sure you
in our locker room.
And then you make sure you broadcast that shit all over the place.
Yeah, like Myles Garrett.
You play out the season. Then you go to the brass without saying a word. You put it on paper and you officially request a trade. And then you use your broadcast the fuck out of this shit.
So Washington is a yes.
Yes, definitely.
All right.
They got space for days.
Detroit.
Yes and no. Football wise, yes. Salary wise, no.
You got the space.
Yeah, but that space is going to be eaten up by Aiden Hutchinson.
Well, here's the thing. You still got at least a good 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And in all honesty, when he went down, I was highly, 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 highly surprised.
Yeah.
That Detroit didn't go out and try to find another pass rusher.
Yeah.
Equal or greater value.
Yep.
Than Hutchinson, because that was the glue that held your defense together. Once he went down, you had to outscore teams.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's what got your offensive coordinator the job in Chicago.
Do the Chicago Bears know what the fucking offense is?
I mean, good Lord.
Not since 1985. And I'm stretching it with that. Because the Bears were such an offensive dynamo in 1985. If they had the offense to match the defense, San Francisco would not have been talked about throughout the course of the 80s. Period.
The biggest hurdle that Dan Johnson has to overcome is the mentality of his quarterback. Because he's a moron. He's a moron.
I could go on for days about Caleb Williams, but considering the fact we are only on for an hour, I won't have enough time.
He is a moron of the fifth power. I mean, this dude got trolled thinking that he was talking to his head coach. He's a moron. He told somebody on camera that he has trouble reading the blitz, and ever since then, he's been forced to throw under the blitz.
Mm-hmm.
This guy is a moron, and he thinks he's all world. He gets jittery in the pocket.
Listen, Caleb Williams had one good day at quarterback, and it was prorated at best. And that came in 2021 when Oklahoma came back from a 28-point deficit playing Texas. That's it, and that's all.
The steal of the draft was Daniels and Nix.
Mm-hmm.
Not Caleb Williams.
Yep. Say that again for those of us in the cheap seats at the old version of Soldier Field. Say that again.
It was Daniels and Nix.
Mm-hmm.
It was Daniels and Nix. They were the two best quarterbacks to come out of that draft.
Yep. And Daniels is going to unanimously win Rookie of the Year. Bo Bo Nix got better. Jaden Daniels got better. Okay.
Yeah.
What the hell has Caleb Williams done? Not a goddamn thing.
Nothing but piss off his teammates. Nothing
And
but piss off.
they have the nerve to stick with him. Tell me I'm wrong.
No, you're not wrong. In all honesty, look. In all honesty, if I was Johnson, I would have taken. I have to admit, I would have taken the Raiders job.
Yep.
If there was any job out there to take, I would have taken. As far as that, I feel comfortable with. It would have been the Raiders job because then I know that I could pick my own quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
All you have to do
again,
is trade up in the draft to get him.
Oh, yeah.
You know who I like in order?
What's that?
Jackson Dart.
Mm-hmm.
Because the guy is, if you watch his highlights, we watched his highlights. That guy is a machine.
He is.
He is NFL ready. He knows how to do the play action pass. He knows how to look off a defense, look off a safety. He can read a defense. He's got precision throws, and he's athletic. So you can do the rollouts and all of that stuff with him.
Yep.
The guy is very studious. You can tell by the way that he plays.
Mm-hmm.
I like Howard because he is a big tree trunk of a quarterback that's just as athletic as you want your quarterback to be.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? He can take the hits. And he's got a beautiful touch on the ball. He throws a beautiful pass.
Absolutely, he does.
Right. And he's athletic. You know, he's athletic enough. He can do the play action pass and everything. But to me, it looks like his biggest weakness is that he needs to learn to look off his first read.
We talked.
We talked about this.
How long have we been friends, and how many times have we made that statement in talking football?
Twice. So, and then I would go Ward. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Only based on skill. But when that dude quit on his team halfway through the game, talking about a business decision, I don't need that type of.
See you later, alligator.
Yeah, I don't need that on my team.
See you later, alligator.
Yeah, you're an automatic problem. Okay, and Shedeur, I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback, but he holds the ball too long.
He's horrible,
and he's too slow.
Listen,
if you can't outrun college defensive tackles, you're going to get murdered in the NFL, and you don't appear to be big enough to take those hits.
Listen, I will say Shedeur Sanders is terrible. I will say Shedeur Sanders is god awful. I will boldly say Shedeur Sanders is not ready to play quarterback. And yet, there's a certain group of people, we'll not name them here, that want Shedeur Sanders to be the number 1 overall pick. That will be a mistake.
This is why if I'm the Browns, this is why if I'm the Browns, if I'm going to trade, because I'm fully for trading the number 2 pick to either the Giants, the Raiders, or the Jets. I would go no lower than the Jets because I know that New England, Jacksonville don't need quarterbacks.
No,
and more than likely, Sam Darnold is going to sign with either the Giants, the Raiders, or he's definitely not going to sign with the Jets.
Oh no!
So he's going to sign with one of these 2 teams, the Giants or the Raiders. Might possibly Tennessee, but I don't know. That would be surprising. And then they take who's the one that can't understand his girlfriend playing him like a sucker? Travis Hunter. I can see them taking Travis Hunter and then signing Sam Darnold.
Did you do a special on Travis Hunter yet?
No, because I could care less about his personal life. I mean, You
Fair
know,
enough.
everybody in the
Fair
manosphere
enough.
tried to warn him. I mean,
I didn't touch it.
all types of athletes are trying to tell him, you know, but you know, he think it's okay that his girlfriend can spend the night at her boy best friend's house, walking around in the dude's t-shirts and shit, all in the bed. You know, I mean, that she didn't give a fuck about him till she found out who he was through her brother. You know, I mean, you're buying her brother gifts and shit.
Yep.
I mean, calling this dude your best friend. Why? Because he introduced you to his sister. This is the chick of your dreams. I mean, you're sitting outside of the party in the car while she's in there taking shots of men grabbing on her ass and shit, grinding up on each other in the party while you're out in the car.
Preach.
She's got all your passwords and shit to your social media.
There's a problem right there.
On the day that you guys finally, you know, won your final game, she's having a problem with you, I guess, with some girls in the stands that was, you know, screaming and hollering at you, and you acknowledge them by saying, yeah, because you made a big play.
You made a big play. Yep.
Right.
Made a big play.
So now, you know, that they giving you shit about that or something. You probably ran your mouth to them, so now they're running their mouth. You're going back and forth with them to the point where now after the game, you like, well, them bitches over there. Be like, really? Really? Why are you even talking to them? They're fans. Who cares?
And he was excited.
Oh, the fuck out of here. I
mean, he can look, man. I'm not touching that subject. I never will touch that subject.
Let's move on.
Let's move on. Thank you.
Let's move on.
Let's move on.
So Baltimore is a hell no.
Baltimore's a hell no to the no.
I think the Rams are good where they're at. They've got a good young defensive line that gets a lot of pressure. Houston might be a stretch. Right?
Yep.
Yeah, Houston might be a stretch.
Houston might be a stretch. They got a little room, but not much room because they're locking up CJ Stroud.
In all honesty, what they really need to do is strengthen their wide receiver core because they cannot stay healthy.
Yeah.
Tank Dell, back-to-back years, freak accident, out for the season. You know, then who's the guy they signed in free agency? Stephon Diggs. You expected him to step up and be the number one in case, you know, one of your guys got hurt. You got two number ones, right? I mean, you're a number one wide receiver, right, Stephon Diggs?
Supposedly.
Right. And they're Nelson Jr., he's clearly the number one guy. I mean, this guy was in obscurity until he went to the Texans. This guy is suddenly like, wow, like this guy's good.
He actually has a chance to play.
Yeah.
That's how
Nelson
that is.
finally got a chance to play.
He finally got a chance to play, and he's taking advantage of it.
So
he's taking full advantage of it, man.
Who knows? Well, Houston's got a wide receiver problem. So probably not. Minnesota.
Don't even try it.
I mean, they got a hell of an offense. They just maybe need to strengthen their defense. I mean, a good pass rush. I mean, look who you got to play against. Green Bay.
Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago and Detroit.
You got mauled twice by the Lions.
Right.
The first one was a walk-off victory, but you were still getting mauled in that game. Secondly, the last game of the year for the Central Division title, and you don't show up.
They're a passing team. Everybody in your division is a passing team.
Yep, and Minnesota didn't have the nerve to change it up a bit and use what actually gets them somewhere. Sign Aaron Jones and you don't use him. For what?
Your defense was
Eh.
It was atrocious. It was atrocious.
That's a great word. I know.
Yeah.
It was atrocious. It was a sieve.
Yeah, it was atrocious.
That defense was a sieve, and if it got to the quarterback, they got lucky.
Your offensive line was even worse. But in all honesty, you should have started running the football.
Running the football? What's that?
Yeah. You should start running the football.
Running the football in the NFL? What's that?
Shit. If you know the blitz is coming, screen. Screen, motherfucker, screen.
Mm-hmm.
Screen,
motherfucker, screen.
Yeah, especially a middle screen. What are you doing? Just dump it to the tight end or the running back or the full, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. Slow that pass rush down. Slow the blitz down. God damn. Woo. They blame that on Sam Darnold, and it's like, well, shit. Where is he throwing to?
Exactly.
Shit, he's holding the ball to the last second, looking for somebody to get open. These motherfuckers trying to shake their man at the line.
When they started 5-0, the Vikings. 1, it surprised the daylights out of everybody, me included. 2, they were getting lucky with their passing game because no one figured out how to come after Sam Darnold. No one figured out how to frighten the shit out of Sam Darnold in the pocket.
The Vikings love to go. They don't have a short passing game. They have a medium to deep passing game.
Mm-hmm.
They have a medium to deep passing game. That's why every time you look up, when Sam Darnold was making plays, throwing touchdown passes, they were usually like deep passes.
Yep.
Or medium passes that wound up going the distance. He was killing them because their secondary wide receiver, that kid is good.
Yes, he is.
I don't even know his name, but I know he wears number 2. But he is good. He opened up their passing game. Yeah, he made TJ Hawkinson earn his checks.
You're talking about Vikings wide receiver, right?
Yeah.
You're talking about Jordan Addison.
Yeah.
Jordan Addison is his name.
Good. He could go deep. He could run the medium. He was fast as lightning.
He developed very quickly.
Yeah. He opened the lanes up for Jefferson. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
He developed very quickly. Now you got a quarterback in Sam Darnold that can actually find people when given time. First half of the season, he was given time. Second half of the season, they were figuring him out. And that made that offensive line a sieve.
Yeah, they just, in all honesty, as smart as they say the offensive coordinator / head coach is, I'm sorry, he's not giving his quarterback a pre-snap read in order to find the hot route to beat the potential blitz.
Mm-hmm. And the teams are figuring him out the second half of the year. After they started 5-0, the team started figuring out how you attack the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah. That's why in games where, like, he was playing bad, where it seemed like he was overthrowing the wide receivers, it's because really the defensive back would not let the wide receiver get beyond him. If you notice, in the overthrows, the defender had better position than the wide receiver.
Yep.
Because he wouldn't let the wide receiver get behind him. It wasn't no play chase. It was like run through me.
Right.
Yeah. So the ball was being overthrown. They just shut down their medium and deep passing game. So he played like shit.
Minnesota Vikings were a very lucky team this past year.
You should have turned to the running game. You should have started using your running game.
And they were too chicken shit to do that.
Any rate, so yay or nay on the pass rush?
I'm going to say nay.
Okay, I say yay, but we're just here to give them.
I say nay because we're talking about the Vikings.
All right, Green Bay.
No. Their ego will prevent them from going after a pass rusher.
We'll see. In the passing league, their passing division, it would, from a business sense, it would make sense because now you can probably shut down the Lions,
and you can
shut down the Lions.
You can shore up your line,
right? Especially because your defensive line is shit. I mean, goddamn, you fired the defensive coordinator for a reason.
Yep, it sure did.
If you think that's the missing piece, we'll see. Chargers, I would probably say no.
No.
Yeah, they need wide receiver help. Steelers, hell no.
Jesus Christ. We're talking about the Steelers.
I mean, they would, let's go fishing Godfather style with Myles Garrett before that happened. Let's Denver.
That would be a good landing place.
Don't have the money.
Right. Don't have the picks. Don't have the real picks. Don't have the money.
Right. Tampa Bay. No. And
to use your words, that's a hell no.
Right. Because in all honesty, you're going to need a wide receiver because Evans, who should have retired last year, I mean, I don't think he's going to stick around for one more year where Baker Mayfield cost him a playoff game with a stupid-ass turnover.
You saw that too, huh?
Yeah, I think he's done with that shit.
Yeah, he is.
So, no. Seattle.
Hell no.
Yeah, I think they like where they're at. I think they like where they're at.
Which is purgatory.
If anything, they would probably work on depth. Yeah. Cincinnati, if hell freezes over. Arizona.
When hell freezes over, thaws out, gets warm, warms up Arizona, and then freezes over again. Next.
Arizona.
No. Hell no.
Yeah, they probably. I don't know.
They're too chicken shit to pull the trigger.
Right.
And Myles Garrett wouldn't succeed.
Yeah, I don't know.
In Arizona.
Yeah,
Myles Garrett would not succeed in Arizona. No way.
I don't. You know what? Arizona is almost like purgatory. I mean, look,
Arizona and Seattle are purgatory.
Yeah, they're 8. Yeah, Arizona, Seattle, because you're going to be 8-9 or 10-7 for as long as you're there.
Yep, that's all they will. That's all they will do. They had a playoff season in 21, and they won't see the playoffs again.
Yeah,
ever. As long as Kyler Murray is the quarterback, and they're content where they are.
Yeah,
the Arizona Cardinals will never see the playoffs again.
I mean, goddamn, you got your star quarterback. I mean, they asked him, "How come you're not throwing the ball to Marvin Harrison Jr.?" And he literally said, "I'm not here to do that." And it's like, yes, you are. That's why we got him.
Idiot. You fool. You idiot.
We got him so you can throw the ball.
For that reason. That reason.
Do you not see the wide receiving core we have?
Man, look.
These guys are not starters.
As soon as his rookie contract is over, Marvin Harrison is out of there. You drafted Marvin Harrison to be your number 1 wide receiver, and you treated him like a number 3.
Yeah, your quarterback don't even want to throw him the ball. And when he did throw him the ball, the kid, this is why I was the number 1 pick. Hello,
clue phone, ring,
2
pick
touchdowns.
it up. Clue phone, ring, pick it up.
Jesus Christ, bro. But you know what it is? It's that Donovan McNabb, Terrell Owens situation. The Baker Mayfield.
A preseason touchdown led to a lot of strife. I mean, they threw it to him, yeah.
But Odell, that's his name. Baker and Odell.
Yeah,
it's
how
like
did that turn out?
What it is like the wide receiver, the quarterback feels that the wide receiver wants to be the star of the show.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, because do understand, if I, the wide receiver, look good, you, the quarterback, look good, we both eat together. It doesn't matter if the fans like me more than you.
Exactly.
The purpose is to win the goddamn game.
Mm-hmm. Say that again. The purpose is to what?
It's to win the goddamn game. So throw me the fucking ball. Goddamn. Who cares? Why do you care if?
Because they want their numbers instead of wins.
Excuse me. Who was the best wide receiver in the NFL? In NFL history?
NFL history? Jerry Rice.
Yeah. Jerry Rice. Who's the best quarterback in NFL history?
I have a personal preference, but I'll be quiet.
No.
No?
Tell the truth.
Tell the truth? Joe Montana.
Yes.
Joe fucking Montana. Cool Joe Montana. Cool Joe.
Why?
Joe Montana.
Why is Joe Montana the best quarterback in the NFL?
Because he knew how to play the position. He knew how to get the ball to his receivers. He didn't have to scramble much. And even in season 11, he reads the defense wonderfully. Did that his entire career. And the biggest thing about Joe Montana that Tom Brady didn't do, that Peyton Manning didn't do, he trusted his teammates.
He threw the ball to Jerry.
He threw the ball well
to Jerry Rice.
Mm-hmm.
He also, John Taylor, ate like crazy because of Jerry Rice.
Because of Jerry Rice.
To be a more physical version of Jerry Rice.
Yep.
A more athletic version of Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice is like a machine.
Yep.
Whereas John Taylor was the muscle.
Jerry Rice was 6'2" and 200. John Taylor 6'1", 185. But John Taylor could run with Jerry Rice.
Yeah.
He could. He ran routes as great as Jerry Rice. And for those of you that don't agree with me that John Taylor deserves his spot in the Hall of Fame, I direct you back to 1989 when the 49ers traveled to Los Angeles and played the Los Angeles Rams on Monday Night Football.
That's the game.
Why am I directing you to that game? Because Jerry Rice was a decoy that entire game, and John Taylor 11 catches, 289 yards, and still the only receiver in NFL history catch not one, but two 90-yard plus touchdown passes.
In a single game.
And
guess who threw him the touchdown going blocks down both sidelines, both plays? It was Jerry Rice. It was Jerry Rice. I mean, they left linebackers in the dust.
They left linebackers. They left everybody in the dust.
Yeah. And you know what?
They left every damn body in the dust.
In both touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
The Rams' best defensive player, which was that safety Stewart.
Yep.
Was the one that Jerry Rice was blocking. Because I mean, Stewart could play. He was Pro Bowl safety.
Yep.
But those guys were so much of teammates.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, here's Jerry Rice running 70 yards downfield, steady throwing blocks. He's the best safety in the division behind Ronnie Lott.
Mm-hmm.
That game put John Taylor. It put it like this. It didn't put him on the map. It got everybody's attention.
It did. And let me repeat those numbers: 11 catches, 289 yards, two touchdowns, both of them 92 yards in the second quarter, and in the fourth quarter after a turnover, 96 yards. And he caught the winning pass that sealed the game on a 3rd and 3.
Oh, he also caught the game-winning touchdown in Super Bowl 23. The year before.
Yep.
Just to let y'all know that, the guy was for real. Like, ain't that the guy that caught the game-winning touchdown in the Super Bowl last year? Like, yeah.
John Taylor.
Like, yeah, that guy is good. Damn, that guy is good.
Let me say it again. John freaking Taylor. Matter of fact, I have a present for you. Take a look in the back.
Oh.
Rice has just set a Super Bowl record with 12 catches. He's in motion. Montana. Touchdown, John Taylor.
The beleaguered Sam Weish.
That's why people will never forget his name.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And all of that was because the quarterback.
Yep. Greatest quarterback to ever play was Joe Montana.
Hey, he ran the offense. He threw the ball to the receiver.
Bill Walsh knew what he was doing when he plucked Joe Montana in the draft.
And the messed up part about it was,
take a look again, folks. Take a look again. Take a look again.
The best part about it was the Bengals defense. They said that they thought the ball was going to Roger Craig.
Rice. Oh, they thought it was going to Roger Craig.
Yeah, because he kept going over the middle wide open, getting 10 yards a clip. Remember?
Yep.
Craig he kept getting 10 yards a clip.
Craig caught 9 passes for 101 yards. But take a look at this laser again, folks. Joe Montana's not the greatest. Watch this.
Super Bowl record with 12 catches. He's in motion. Montana.
As soon as he set his feet, the ball was out. As soon as he set his feet, the ball was out.
He took 5 steps. He took 5 steps back, got set, and threw a rocket.
With 12 catches, he's in motion.
Boom.
Boom.
Touchdown, John Taylor.
And nobody covered John Taylor. All right, you can take it down.
Yeah,
that's a crazy
he wasn't
part.
Expecting the slant.
They didn't cover John Taylor. Why are you not covering John Taylor in the Super Bowl, man?
They thought it was on to Craig. It was either Craig or Rice.
It was either Craig or Rice.
About John Taylor.
Jerry Rice caught 11 for 215, and Roger Craig caught 9 for 101.
Yeah, I think he caught 3 passes on the game-winning drive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Rice caught like a quick little 6-yarder and then the 27-yarder.
Yep.
On 2nd and 20.
27-yarder that got the 49ers in position.
Right. So
on a second and 20, and that came on a 2nd and 20.
Hey,
that came on a 2nd and 20, and Montana was like, okay, hey Rice, hold this. 27 yards and a first down.
Let's set it aside. We're killing ourselves here. So Atlanta. Now, here's my thing with Atlanta. Last year, I felt that they lacked the pass rush. Remember, they made the trade with the Jets. Mm-hmm. The pass rusher was holding out for the Jets. He wanted out. Yep. He never said why, but I think we have an idea. I mean, that front office was terrible.
Is terrible.
Right. So he wound up being traded to Atlanta. So they were looking for a pass rush.
Mm-hmm.
Now they felt that Kirk Cousins really kind of held them back from some wins. They really waited too late to bench him.
Good old Kirk 2 Chainz Cousins, who should have never taken a snap in the Falcons uniform.
So it seems like
he should have never taken a snap in a
Falcons uniform. Yeah, he never really should have been signed, because you're talking about a quarterback coming off a right Achilles tear.
Yep.
And you're playing on turf.
You're playing on artificial / speed turf.
Right.
And you're asking a 36-year-old quarterback to play on speed turf.
Coming off an Achilles tear on his throwing foot, his plant foot.
A major Achilles tear at that. A major Achilles tear.
He was doing good until he ran out of steam, because the injury started catching up to him.
Yep. Right after, and it started catching up to him right after he dropped 500 yards on Tampa Bay on a Thursday night.
Yeah, because he threw a lot of passes.
I think he threw 50 he threw at least 40 passes.
Right.
Matter of fact, let me do this.
So he overworked his Achilles to the point where it probably got stiff on him or whatnot. Because I mean, he is coming off of surgery. It's not like it's going to not have any side effects. And the side effects was that it just
wasn't
hold up as strong as it used to.
Wasn't it his plant foot?
Yeah.
Where he tore his Achilles? It was his plant foot.
Yeah. So he just ran out of steam.
He threw the ball 58 times.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He ran out of steam.
He threw the ball 58 times.
That's ridiculous.
You're asking, when I covered the draft and we got news of the signing. Some people were saying now Atlanta has a competent quarterback. Are you kidding me?
I mean, Mooney was looking good. Was he not?
He threw the ball 58 times for 509 yards, 4 touchdowns, and an interception. His body went dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
58 times. Let that sink in, folks. Kirk Cousins, 36-year-old Kirk Cousins, in a game, threw the ball 58 times.
The next few games, I think the coaching staff was thinking that, okay, well, maybe he's, he had an off game, because of the last game, and then, he played his way through it. But he just kept getting worse and worse and worse.
Yes.
Before they decided to bench him and start Penix Jr. Which is why, remember when they drafted him, you saw the GM explaining to Arthur Blank, who was like up close on him like this.
Yes.
Like what the fuck? What is this bullshit? I just signed this guy. You had me sign this guy, all this fucking money. Now you drafting a quarterback? What the fuck?
And you know what? I got the perfect button for you. I got the perfect button for you for that. Where is it?
Whatever he told
let me give you this. Let me give you this.
Ahead.
Let me give you this in its place.
How do you fuck that up? How do you fuck that up?
Whatever he told the GM, whatever the GM told the owner, it turned out to be true. Like, because it's just in case, this guy isn't what we're paying him to do. Like, we might wind up having to eat some money, but hey, I'd rather get a quarterback just in case.
Yep. Which was the best move Atlanta could have made.
Exactly.
Benching Cousins and starting Penix.
Shit. But Cousins was, he was earning his paycheck.
for about 5 games.
Right. And they felt that all that they needed was a pass rush. I mean, so now you know that you have a quarterback, so you don't have to look for one in the draft. So what are you really looking for in the draft when you know that last year you felt you needed a pass rush to help solidify your defense? So
they are desperate for a pass rush.
So Atlanta, I would say, yeah.
I guarantee. I agree. I agree. Atlanta needs a pass rush.
Yeah. The Colts, I would say no. I think the Colts are satisfied with the direction that they're in right now.
They got DeForest Buckner, but it wouldn't hurt to take a peek at it.
Yeah. But, I mean, in all honesty, let's be honest. They know they need a quarterback.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because Anthony Richardson, you fired.
Yeah, he's terrible. So
Anthony Richardson sucks.
I would say the Colts would probably, I would say 60-40 no. Miami, probably not.
They're all into Tua. They don't care about their defense.
Yes. And their defense is good. Dallas.
No.
Dallas.
No to the no.
Dallas.
Hell no to the no.
Let me explain. Okay, you tell me why not.
Really? You gonna make it this easy?
Yeah, you tell me why not, and I'll tell you why so.
2 words. Micah Parsons.
Okay.
They're gonna wear him out. They're gonna switch him around all over the place because he's got the athletic ability to play every position on the defensive line, or so they think. They're set. According to them, they're set. They should be in play for Myles Garrett. They absolutely should be in play for Myles Garrett. But Jarrell is too damn stupid.
But why would you not?
Did you not hear my last?
You're Jerry.
Did you not hear my last line?
Okay, well, let me explain why I
Jarrell
think
is too. Listen, I'll say it again. The Cowboys should absolutely be in play for Myles Garrett.
And who's in charge of the Cowboys?
Jarrell.
Is that what you calling the owner?
That's exactly what I'm calling the owner. Jarrell.
Why Jarrell?
Not Jerry. Jarrell.
Why Jarrell? Okay, I get it. Jarrell. Okay.
Somebody said it on my show.
I'm like, what are you talking about? Jarrell. Okay, I get it.
Somebody said it on my show a couple years ago, and it stuck.
Okay.
That's all.
So why do you think? Okay, so why do you think Jerry Jones wouldn't be stupid enough to make this move when he is desperately calling himself trying to get to the Super Bowl?
Let me put it in a reason that will surprise a lot of people, but makes sense in why he won't pull the trigger. His name is Dak Prescott.
But you think you have everything for Dak Prescott outside of a running back.
And Jarrell is too stupid to pull the trigger.
So
Jarrell is too stupid to pull the trigger.
I think he would do it in order to sell tickets and improve the defense, which he probably felt let them down more than the offense did.
And yet Jarrell is too stupid to fix the goddamn problem.
I don't know. I mean, he's the Al Davis of the NFC to me.
But at least Al Davis had a brain. At least Al Davis knew
exactly. I mean, we're both arguing the same thing about his mentality, but I think he's stupid enough to do it. I think he's stupid enough to do it.
And I think he's stupid enough not to do it.
See? San Francisco.
Do you think y'all they're in play?
Can y'all afford him?
That was the first team he was immediately linked to, and I think they're gonna get enough cap space to pull the trigger.
Okay.
Kyle Shanahan, line 1.
You really think that they would cough up their first 3 picks this year and their second and third next year at the very least?
Fuck that. They're not gonna,
because that's what we're trading him for.
They're not going to cough up anybody. They won't need to cough up anybody. They won't need to cough. The only thing they're probably going to cough up are some picks. And
That's what I'm saying.
They're going to cough. The only thing they're going to have to cough up are some picks.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And as soon
your
as
first, second, and third this year, and your second and third next year.
And second and third next year, because the Niners are sitting on 11 picks right now.
Okay,
they can chop that down to 8 and bring in Myles Garrett.
Okay,
period.
we'll gladly take those picks.
Listen,
we'll gladly take those picks.
You know what's going to happen? We can send Cleveland all the picks you described, and in return, we get Myles Garrett, a couple other players that we can develop.
Like
and then, on top of that, you get some compensatory picks on the back end.
Oh, of course.
So those
some
3
high
picks,
compensatory
we can jettison those 3 picks because we're going to get 6 compensatory picks on the back end.
Well, let's still, hey, pleasure doing
so,
business with you.
To the rest of the NFL from the San Francisco 49ers, fuck you, and fuck a whole lot of you. They are definitely in play for Myles Garrett. In fact, the reports immediately started coming out that the Niners are going to make a push for him.
Well, hey, welcome to the table.
Exactly.
Welcome to the bargaining table.
And here's what they're going to do. This is fiscally possible for San Francisco. You bring in Myles Garrett. You give him a quick extension to keep him under contract. And then later on, you give Brock Purdy the extension he deserves because you're going to have the room available. They restructured a couple of contracts. They're going to have the room available to pull the trigger on Myles Garrett.
You guys run the 4-3 defense, right?
Yes, sir.
That's the best defense for them.
Mm-hmm.
The 2 defensive tackles, they play the run. Meanwhile, the defensive ends go after the quarterback.
Exactamundo.
Which can also free up the linebacker blitz.
Mm-hmm. And plus, what's really going to help Myles Garrett? You said linebacker, did you not?
Mm-hmm.
The return to Drake Greenlaw.
Yeah.
They're going to re-sign him. They're going to re-sign him. And Drake Greenlaw is hungry.
Okay. Welcome to the table.
Yep.
Chicago.
Hell no.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell they're trying to do.
For the same reason Dallas won't sign him, for the same reason the Jets won't sign him, and for the same reason the Atlanta Falcons won't sign him. The ownership is dumb.
Yeah, I you know what? I don't even know what Chicago. New Orleans, I doubt it very highly.
No, and no.
Carolina, possibly.
Are you kidding me?
Carolina, possibly.
No.
I mean, what's the name came on pretty good after his second benching.
Bryce Young.
Yeah, he started playing like an NFL quarterback.
He started reading defenses better.
Yeah. He stopped.
Which is what they should have done with Bryce Young in the first year. Sit and watch.
Yeah, he was getting rid of the ball a second too early.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was like he was scared to take a hit.
And he had happy feet.
Yeah. Once he settled in and showed some confidence to stand tall in the pocket, oh man, he was lighting it up.
Mm-hmm.
He was lighting it up. So I don't know.
They could go after Myles Garrett, but I guarantee they're going to have to compete with San Francisco to get him.
That's fine. We'll bring him to the table.
And right now, San Francisco has more to offer than anybody. People think I'm crazy when I say that, but I don't think I'm crazy at all. Excuse me. I don't think I'm crazy at all for saying that.
Yeah. The Jets,
like you said, welcome to the table.
Yeah. The Jets know they need a quarterback
badly.
The Raiders know they need a quarterback.
The Colts know they need a quarterback.
Let's see. Jacksonville. I feel offensively, Jacksonville is where they need to be.
Yep.
That rookie wide receiver that they got, I feel that because they were saying that the problem with Jacksonville is the mediocre wide receiver core, but the rookie that they got, who's the third stringer, that kid was lighting it up. So I'm watching highlights on him, and I'm like, next year this guy should be your number one wide receiver, and then that way your receiving core will fall into its proper place.
Should have been the number one wide receiver.
Right.
Let's stop playing around. As soon as you saw his potential, he should have been the number one wide receiver.
Exactly. Because the guy you got starting at number one is really a number two, and the guy you got starting at number two is really a slot guy.
Which brings me back to Chicago. Giving up everything for DJ Moore, who's a number 3 at best.
DJ Moore?
DJ Moore.
I think DJ Moore he is a number one wide receiver because when you see him,
he's a
when
number
you see
one
him,
out of recess, not a necessity.
When you see him making plays, it's because the quarterback is actually throwing him the ball. You understand? So to me, it's his biggest problem is he's not getting the recognition that he deserves is because of bad quarterback play. Because the reason why he was so happy with Justin Fields is because he was always Justin Fields' first read. So Justin Fields was always throwing him the ball.
Correct.
So he was being productive because of Justin Fields. They were both being productive. That's why he was like, I don't have a problem with him. You know what I'm saying? Shit, he throwing me the ball.
Yep.
Right. Like, do y'all not
think he's a number 2?
Yeah. So I would say Jacksonville will probably pull the trigger.
Yeah.
They get a new GM. You want to make a big splash to prove that you're here to win. Where's your weakness? Where's your weakness?
Who are we still talking about?
Jacksonville.
Where's your weakness? Where isn't there weakness?
Right, but where do you feel is your main weakness?
No defensive line.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, no offensive line either.
Yeah. But like I said, you get a new GM. He wants to make a big splash.
He wants to make a big splash, but someone's controlling him. Because if he made a big splash, when this word came out, he'd have gone for it already.
Well, they haven't. I don't think they hired a new GM yet.
And that's going to cost him.
Right. So whenever they hire a new GM, we'll see where he sits.
And that is going to cost them.
Yeah. So anybody else, I would say New England, hell no. The Giants.
New England.
No, they got too many holes to fill.
Hell no to the no.
Yeah, that's a no. The Giants, that's a no.
Hell
they
no.
They definitely need a quarterback.
The Giants are in purgatory. They need a quarterback and a running back. Bad.
Yeah. Cleveland, of course not. And the Titans, I would say no.
I love the way you say that. You said Cleveland, of course not.
Yeah.
I love it.
Tennessee, I don't think so. In all honesty, I think Tennessee is probably going to draft Travis Hunter. I think they're going to draft Travis Hunter.
I reserve comment for now.
Who do you think they're going to draft?
They can go ahead and draft Travis Hunter. I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah.
But I know one thing.
I think that's where they might go.
Travis Hunter's going to get an education of his life. If he's not Travis Hunter is going to get the education of his life playing in the NFL. if he ain't getting it already.
If anything, I think Tennessee would probably trade down with the Giants to make sure that they get the quarterback that they want, no matter who Cleveland trades with. Which, again, all depends on where Sam Darnold ends up in free agency. Because if the Titans are drafting Travis Hunter, then they definitely not in need or looking for a quarterback.
Yep.
So you got the Giants and definitely the Jets.
Let's go through all the teams that are in dire need of a quarterback. The obvious ones. Okay.
Cleveland,
Chicago, Indianapolis, Jets and Giants, New Orleans.
No, they sticking with Derek Carr.
Oh, Jesus.
He's still under contract. So he's sticking with Derek Carr.
Oh, jeez. They're actually going to do that?
Yeah, plus they've got the young guys.
Turn it over to Spencer Rattler and walk off. Here's how you solve it. Turn the offense over to Spencer Rattler and walk the fuck off. That's it. That's it, and that's all.
So, okay. So, teams that are definitely desperate. Cleveland, Giants.
Cleveland, the Giants,
Raiders,
the
and Jets.
Raiders.
And Jets. Are those are the ones that are desperate for number one. So, and maybe possibly Tennessee, but they're talking about generational talent, and usually they're talking about the Heisman Trophy winner. So, that's why I think they're probably going to draft Travis Hunter, which is why we're even talking about who would trade with him. So,
and you notice no teams are willing to trade with them, and if they're going to draft Travis Hunter. Have you noticed?
Yeah,
that?
But you want to get the quarterback because if Cleveland doesn't trade down, then, or let's say they do trade down, you want to be the one that's able to get your quarterback.
Right.
All right. Before the other team does, because the Jets most definitely, all right, are the ones that are more desperate to get a top-notch quarterback than anybody else. Because again, Darnold could probably sign with the Raiders. Okay. And then they can go for a developmental quarterback later on in the draft. The Giants at number 3. It all depends on if the Jets trade up with Cleveland, the Giants might try to trade up with Tennessee.
Yep.
Okay. Because they don't want to run the risk of the Jets taking their quarterback.
Right.
Now,
with that voice right there, I know you're gonna touch something you ain't got no business touching. So let's have it.
Who would be a good fit for the Giants at quarterback between Ward, Sanders, Dart, and Howard?
Who in the blue hell wants to play quarterback for the Giants?
Well, I mean, shit, you got Malik Neighbors and the other guy Shepard. You know what I'm saying? You got some talent at wide receiver.
True.
You got an offensive line. The problem is at quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, good Lord, Daniel Jones had a good season the first year in this offense. Before he just, we don't know what the fuck is wrong with this guy.
He guided his team to the playoffs and got paid. That's what's wrong.
And then he just quit.
He quit.
Literally. Literally.
He quit.
Literally. He went and asked for his release. And they were happy to oblige. I mean, god damn. So maybe Sam Darnold, you get a veteran quarterback in there.
Maybe.
Or you might draft a guy. I mean, if you're trying to get the number 1 pick, you desperately need a quarterback. If you don't sign Sam Darnold in the offseason, then who's best to fit your offense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it Ward? Is it Sanders? Is it Dart? Or is it Howard?
Howard.
I would probably go Howard too.
Howard.
I would go Howard too. For the Giants, I would go Howard too. Howard or Dart.
Will the Thrill Howard would be perfect for the Giants. Hard-nosed kid, guided his team to a national championship. Quick arm, quick feet, can read a defense correctly, and he played all of his eligible years in college, so he knows an offense, can adjust to an offense very quickly. All right, his mental attitude is off the charts. National championship, hello. He would be that quarterback for them. He'd be another Phil Simms.
Yeah.
Will the Thrill Howard to the Giants.
Yeah. Because in all honesty, the Jets would probably go for, if they were to trade up with Cleveland, they would probably go for either Ward or Sanders.
Yep.
Because that stupid ass 18-year-old kid is, going by what the TV say.
You got it.
He's probably not even giving any thought to
Dart
or Howard.
Nope.
So if I was
not
Cleveland,
I'd feel peace.
Yeah. If I was Cleveland, I'd feel safe trading with them.
Mm-hmm.
But again, that depends. Like, let's say if the Raiders sign Darnold, then I'm definitely trading with the Jets.
Right.
Because then I know the only team that's desperately looking for a quarterback will be the Jets and the Giants, and they're probably not even thinking of Dart.
You asked me who would be a perfect fit for the Giants. Who would be a perfect fit for the Jets?
Who do you think would be a perfect fit for the Jets?
Keep in mind everything that's going on with that team.
Who do you think would be a perfect fit for the Jets?
So we predict Will Howard will land with the Giants, right?
Right.
So we're looking at Jackson Dart, Shedeur Sanders, and Cam Ward.
Oh, and possibly Milroe.
Milroe is going to be a late round pick.
Yeah, that guy's terrible.
Milroe is going to be a late round pick, and I wouldn't be surprised if he drops into the 3rd round.
That guy is terrible. He's a one-read quarterback.
He's Caleb Williams, only at Alabama.
Yeah,
he is Caleb Williams, only at Alabama.
He wouldn't know what a secondary receiver is if you showed it to him on tape.
And too scared to do such a thing, right?
Yeah.
No, thank you.
No, you know who he is? He's Jalen Hurts.
He is Jalen. Thank you. That's a perfect. That is a perfect comparison. He's Jalen Hurts.
Yeah. No, thank you.
Jalen Hurts with a little bit more speed.
No, thank you.
Nope. I'll pass.
So who do you think is the best fit for the Jets?
Given the culture of the Jets, none of these guys. You know what? Let's have some fun, shall we? You know who the Jets would draft just for shits and giggles? Shedeur Sanders.
That's what I was thinking. Because the 18-year-old would, Daddy, ooh, get your door.
Yep.
Please, Daddy. Well, yeah, whatever the Browns want.
Daddy's gonna pull the trigger and pick him.
Whatever the Browns want, we'll trade. Because for me to make if I'm the Browns, you want to trade my pick, right? You want the number 2 pick,
right?
Well, what I want to trade slots with you, and I want your 2nd and 3rd this year.
Seems fair to me.
That's what I want. I want your slot and your 2nd and 3rd this year.
Mm-hmm.
Like, sure. So I move down. The Giants get who they're going to get.
Yep.
Which would probably, okay, they get Howard. We move
Yeah.
down. Probably Sam Darnold has probably signed with the Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not really going to be looking to trade.
Would fit the Raiders, by the way.
Yeah, if anything, they would probably be looking to get a wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Or running back.
To complement Brock Bowers.
Exactly. So I'm the 7th pick.
Mm-hmm.
I can get Dart because New England, they need help at wide receiver.
Badly.
And offensive line, but mainly
Mm-hmm.
wide receiver. Jacksonville, let's say they made the trade for Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
So now we have the 5th overall pick.
Mm-hmm.
So they're out of the. So we've got 2 picks. So we would be picking 5th and 7th, depending on whatever Vegas did. So we can get quarterback and left tackle back to back, which would strengthen your odds of getting your left guard, running back, wide receiver, 2 defensive ends, because now you can, not to mention the picks you're getting from a Myles Garrett trade. So you would be getting 2 number ones, actually 3 number ones,
3 number ones,
3 number ones, 3 number twos.
You're
okay.
Loaded. You're loaded with picks.
Yeah, and 3 number threes.
So you get 9 picks just like that.
In the top 3.
You get 9 picks just like that.
In the top 3.
Yep.
You can rebuild your team off the Myles Garrett trade and also trading down from the number 2 pick. And you can rebuild all of your holes.
Yes.
Just like that.
With those 9 picks.
Yeah, because you have salary cap problems because of the Deshaun Watson contract. You should have extended him 3 years and spaced that money out, guaranteed, and let him go out at the end of next year. If you can get look, the controversy is that, he tore his Achilles the 2nd time, right?
Right.
Well, he's on video outside of his girlfriend's car, dancing on the side of the road behind the car out in the street in the dirt.
Yep.
With his girlfriend without wearing the boot.
Without wearing the boot. Oops.
And then next thing you know, his Achilles tore again. And you're supposed to be in the boot for 9 months.
24/7.
Yeah, what is this shit? If they find out that you weren't in the boot, which is evidence, when did this happen, Deshaun?
He's a dead man walking.
Right. Your contract is null and void and you don't get shit.
They find that evidence, he's a dead man walking.
Yeah, you're done. But the beauty of it is you'll free up some cap space.
Serious cap space.
Yeah, they so desperately need. So therefore, when you trade Myles Garrett, you're still going to have problems you're going to lose more cap space. So you have to rebuild your team with rookies. You're trying to build a new stadium too?
Good luck with that.
Right. You're trying to sell the Browns to upper class football fans by moving the stadium out of downtown Cleveland, out to wherever where there's no bus transit that's going to take the fans to the game. Plus, you're raising the tickets. So you're calling yourself cutting out the core fan base.
Yep.
For a more mature, non-violent fan base.
Look,
with this dome stadium complex.
You know what they're trying to do? They're trying to draw a Super Bowl to Cleveland.
Right.
Because they know the Browns will never make the Super Bowl as a team. So they're trying to draw a Super Bowl to Cleveland as soon as possible.
I put it to you like this. If you want the team to be successful, fuck the stadium shit. If you want the team to be successful, These are the trades that you need to make, and then you need to start filling in the holes in order of importance.
In order of importance,
Through
absolutely.
the multiple draft picks you should be trading for and
Should be
going
trading.
best at position available in position of need overall in order of importance.
That requires them to actually do their research for their positions of need and positions of importance.
Shit, these websites do
I know. But see, we're using something called logic.
They do it for you. I mean, sure, there may be somebody that goes to barbecue state. You know what I'm saying? That might be a Hall of Famer. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, Brock Purdy is a prime example of that.
Yes, he is.
You know, Tom Brady. You know, Walter Payton. Jerry Rice. You know, there's some
Joe Montana drafted in the third round. Phil Simms drafted in the third round.
Shit, Dan Marino. I mean, come on. There's
Dan the man Marino.
Yeah, that was Penn State. You know the messed up part?
That was Pittsburgh. Dan Marino's from Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Pittsburgh. My bad. You know the messed up part? Pittsburgh ain't even that good of a college football town. And
never have been, and they produced a Hall of Famer in Dan Marino.
And when it comes to mentioning the greatest wide receivers in NFL history, nobody is saying Mark Clayton and what's the other guy? Yeah, Super Duper.
Mark Duper.
Yeah, nobody's talking about Mark. Nobody mentions them.
But I remember the Marx brothers.
Yeah, but we do mention Joe Montana.
They were fucking awesome.
Yeah,
they were fucking awesome.
You mentioned Dan Marino more than anybody else on that team outside of Larry Zonka and the guys that went 17-0. Mark, Greasy, Don Shula,
Greasy, Paul Warfield, Mercury Morris, Larry Zonka, those guys.
You don't think of those wide receivers.
At
any rate, so I mean that's what you do. That's how you sell this team to. This is how you sell this team to Browns fans. This is how you sell this team to Browns fans. I mean, sure, people they'll drive to the stadium. I mean, they have no choice. It's not like it's going to be in the neighborhood.
They will. They'll do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah, they'll come.
They'll do it in a heartbeat.
But you've got to draft well. You've got to draft well. And the whole thing about it is, because I mean, we are talking Browns here. The whole thing about it is that Kevin Stefanski has finally admitted, he said, you know what, screw it. We're going back to doing things my way. Because, like when Deshaun Watson came back from suspension, right?
Oh, dear God.
Do understand when we had, what is that dude's name? Barrett?
Yeah.
Garrett, what is that guy's name? The quarterback that's in New England.
Brissett.
When we had Jacoby Brissett, we were running the offense that we were meant to run.
Yes.
Power running game, play action pass, little 7-yard outs to the tight end. You know what I'm saying? The conservative offense, occasionally you take a big shot, you run a trick play, and you rely on your defense to, hold the teams off.
Correct.
But mainly you're relying on Chubb and Hunt to run down the clock and win the game. When Deshaun Watson came back, this was a game against the Saints in Cleveland Stadium where it was like frozen tundra.
Absolutely right.
The Saints were running the football with what's that quarterback / running back they have? The white guy?
Taysom Hill.
Taysom Hill was the Saints leading rusher in that game. I mean, that kid was just running all over us. I'm like, this is the backup
I think
quarterback,
he cracked
fella.
100 yards,
Yeah,
didn't he? He cracked
he was
100
averaging
yards.
like 7 yards a carry.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, this is the backup quarterback, fellas. And do you know what type of offense the Browns were running with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt in their prime? The Browns running game in their prime. Do you know what type of offense they were running? A 3-wide passing game with Deshaun Watson, fresh off
They
of
were
suspension.
running the spread.
And everybody was like, what the fuck are they doing?
Exactly.
And we thought that it was coaching, and really it was coaching because apparently Deshaun Watson told them that this was the offense that he was comfortable in.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, but the Browns wide receiving core is not, the offense is not built for that.
No, it's not.
It's not built for that. But turns out that Deshaun Watson was, quote unquote, calling the shots on offense.
Good luck.
This is why when he went down and what's that guy's name? Joe Flacco came in.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Flacco was winning games.
Yes.
Joe Flacco
Almost
was winning
immediately.
games. They just took too long to sign him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you saw that Browns 49ers game.
I did.
It was like Browns quarterback was atrocious.
That quarterback play was atrocious.
It was atrocious.
Awful.
Like, good Lord, like y'all lost to this guy. So Joe Flacco came in and he just ran the offense until we got to the playoff game. That was something different. But at any rate, so he ran the offense. The offense ran smooth. We got to the playoffs.
Uh-huh.
But Deshaun Watson came back and it was just the best game he had, which was the comeback win against the Ravens, the 44-41 comeback win, where they were down 14 points twice in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
But come to find out, he had played the whole fourth quarter with a broken shoulder that required season-ending surgery to repair.
Yeah.
So he gave everybody hope. But then this season started, and it was almost really the Nick Chubb effect that we never really thought about, was that this guy just came back from major reconstructive shoulder surgery.
Yeah.
Just like Nick Chubb running the football, he's not going to be his old self. He's going to be hesitant with his throws, which he was.
Yeah.
The offense was just, him reading, it was atrocious.
It was awful.
Right.
Let's just say it really was god awful.
I mean, it was so terrible that him tearing his right Achilles
right
made
Achilles, folks.
Yeah, wound up making Jameson Winston look like a number 1 draft pick after all.
Yep.
Because he was just playing the offense. So now he tore his Achilles again. The Browns can get out of the contract. But even if you can't,
they need to get out of the contract.
Right. So you need to extend him 2 more years and let him medically retire.
Yep.
Or just take the cut. Whatever. That way it'll soften the blow when you trade Myles Garrett and your salary cap. But you'll still need to rebuild the team with a lot of draft picks, and you're going to need them early and often. So these first 2 years, you need high draft picks.
And badly.
So I would pull the deal on those trades and then draft position of need, best player available.
Yeah.
Ranked by position of need. And I would definitely be targeting Dart. If you lose Dart, then grab Howard. That's a good consolation prize. I mean, you did hire a quarterbacks coach because you're definitely going to draft a rookie quarterback. They say Kevin Stefanski, his biggest problem is that he's standoffish from his players.
I agree with that.
So if you hire a quarterbacks coach, then he can be more direct in explaining exactly the details of the offense.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that buffer because everything is going to start with your quarterback.
Yeah.
You get your quarterback, you get the protection that he needs at left tackle, left guard. Because Joe Bitonio, if you're going to trade Myles Garrett, Joe Bitonio said he's going to either request a trade or retire. He was like, I'm done too.
Mm-hmm.
So
He said, I'm finished.
Yeah, so he should have retired 2 years ago, but whatever.
Yep.
So, whatever. Hey, whatever you can get, bro, go shop yourself. Whatever you can get, if you want to be traded, whatever you can get for yourself, then fine.
Mm-hmm.
Sayonara.
Adios, amigos.
Yeah, so there's the draft with that. Like, you'll probably get that. If you get to three draft picks in the second round, then go ahead and get one in the second round.
Mm-hmm.
The higher the draft picks, the better the player, right?
Yep.
Right. So supposedly, if you go by ranking,
agreed.
Stop trying to outsmart everybody. Then you get your running back, you get another wide receiver, then you build your defense, because in all honesty, JOK may never play football again.
Right.
And that was like your Micah Parsons of your defense.
Mm-hmm.
So get your defensive ends quickly and then look for that linebacker spot.
Right.
Which you should be able to get in the third round.
Mm-hmm.
If you trade, because I brought this up, if you trade Denzel Ward, because do understand he's on his 6th concussion.
Yeah, he's on the chopping block.
Trade him for whatever. Again, make the best draft picks win.
Exactly.
Trade him for what you can get for him and start over fresh.
Yeah. Yeah, a rebuild's going to have to happen.
Yeah,
that's
start over.
That's all. A rebuild is going to have to happen.
Yeah. You can probably get at least a high pick for Denzel Ward.
Yep.
Maybe you can get a high pick for Martin Emerson too.
Maybe.
See what you can get for Juan Thorn. Yeah, maybe. See what you can get for a Juan Thornhill too.
Mm-hmm.
But you keep Grant Delpit because that guy can play.
Yeah. Yeah.
You need to redo in all honesty, you definitely need to redo your defense.
Mm-hmm.
You need fresh blood because, I got so tired that every time they made a play, suddenly they had to run into the end zone and do a chorus line.
Of course.
Right. Like, dude, you're down 21-7. What are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
No, the biggest issue is do you trust Andrew Berry to make the pick? I have to be honest, no.
You want to try that again?
To be honest, no.
Hell no, you don't. Hell no, you don't.
I was calling for, in all honesty, I would rather hire Joe Douglas.
Yep.
The Jets' former GM.
Mm-hmm.
Because before his kids start running his mouth, look at the talent that's on the Jets. Yeah, look at the talent that's on the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
And in all honesty, I doubt very highly that the Jets would have drafted Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
Because they kept saying that it was this one throw that he made, this where he rolled left and threw deep. Typical little rollout play.
Yep.
Somebody was impressed with that and decided to draft him with the number 1 pick. And we're like,
what?
Who made that choice? And according to Joe Douglas, he said it wasn't his choice.
Oops.
But that guy has an eye for talent because the Jets are very talented.
Mm-hmm. What do you do?
Robert Saleh still would have had his job if they hired a real offensive coordinator and not.
I agree with that.
Aaron Rodgers' friend.
But Robert Saleh is where he needs to be.
Yeah, he needed to get out of there.
He needed to go back to Frisco.
The way they did him, they marched him out of there with security because he wanted to demote the offensive coordinator, which he wound up doing anyway. No, he wanted to fire the offensive coordinator.
Yeah, he wanted to fire him.
Yeah, but you guys decided to just demote him and fire the head coach instead. I wonder who made that decision.
Yeah, I wonder.
I mean, clearly it was ownership's decision, but who was the first one to say, well, let's fire the head coach? Whoever you are, you did that man a favor.
You did him a big favor.
Yeah,
and
you did him a favor.
Right after Saleh gets fired, the rumors start circling around. Even after he got picked up by Green Bay and they didn't let him coach the way he wants to coach in Green Bay.
That's fucking ridiculous.
So Robert Saleh is exactly where he needs to be.
Yeah. Because
he is back home in San Francisco where he belongs with a chance to get that defense back to where it is.
Because that guy's a hell of a defense coordinator.
He most certainly is.
I'm surprised that Green Bay didn't keep him. I thought that's what they were going to do.
It's Green Bay.
Man, I'd be like, look, what do you need?
Once again, it's Green Bay.
I mean, it's like, if I'm Green Bay, I've got him on the staff. Like, hey, look, I hired you. I brought you on the staff for you to observe, how we run our defensive meetings and evaluate some of our players and tell us, or tell me, the GM and the coach, how you can fix this. Because this guy sucks. So, I mean, that's the mission, right? Because he is one of the best defensive coordinators in the league, right? I mean, look how the Jets fell apart when they fired him, thinking that he was the problem.
Fell right down to the ground.
Yeah. I mean, how dare... What's that wide receiver's name?
Which one?
The one that they traded from the Raiders?
Devontae Adams.
How dare Devontae Adams sit there in his first Jets game and then have the nerve to talk about our attitude? Motherfucker, they just fired they security marched our head coach out the door. Whose fault it's not. They scapegoated him. You just now getting here.
He was a walking scapegoat when he took the job.
You're Aaron Rodgers.
Let's be totally real here. Let's be totally real. He was a walking scapegoat when he took the job because it's the New York Jets. End of story.
Are Aaron Rodgers ass kissing buddy? And you're sitting up here acting like, because you're listening to him, you are calling yourself trying to assess the problem with this team.
Yep.
You're an outsider looking in. You don't know what the fuck is going on. Why don't you ask around first? Why don't you get a real feel of what's going on?
But you and I have said it all the time about different teams. That would be too much like right.
No way in hell if I'm a starter on that team. It's like as soon as the season ended, I would have Myles Garretted it.
Yep.
I would cordially like to request a trade. Thank you in advance.
Thank you, and get me the hell out of here.
Yeah. So, I can see them drafting Shedeur Sanders because, he's flash, pizzazz. The front office is ran by a teenager. You know, he
Yep.
would probably think that would be really cool. Something he can tell his little college friends about. Yeah, I drafted your seniors, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know, doing the whole watch thing. I can see it happening.
I can see it too.
I can see it happening. So
Wonder what that means.
the Jets would more than likely, I know. So the Jets would likely draft Sanders.
I
know.
love it. I
The
love
Jets-
it. Play
the
it again.
Jets-
Play it again.
That's
Play it
it.
again.
That's my alerts.
Play
So
it
the
again
Jets-
anyway.
I can't.
Oh man.
It's my alerts. So the Jets would draft Sanders.
Mm-hmm.
Vegas, if they were to draft a quarterback,
Wonder what that means.
there you go. There's an alert. Vegas might sign Darnold, or more than likely, they might draft. They might actually go for Ward, or maybe Dart.
Mm-hmm.
Shit.
Exactamundo.
I mean, we're spitballing the draft here. We're talking NFL, but it's like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're just trying to figure out the board here as far as the top 4 quarterbacks. Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah. I mean,
I gotta say it real. Good luck.
Yeah, the wild card, in all honesty, is Darnold.
Yep. Never thought I'd say that aloud, but the wild card is Darnold. Where is he gonna go?
He definitely ain't going to the Jets. We know that much.
Hell no, he ain't going to the Jets.
Yeah, the wild card is Darnold. Darnold dictates.
The wild card is Sam Darnold.
Yeah,
Period.
he dictates where this shit go.
Mhm.
All right, so that's Myles Garrett as far as his value. Teams that might be interested in him. I'm sorry, I know I held you longer, but don't worry about it.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, that's my prediction for as far as how the Browns are going to come out of this, as far as some of these other teams too. All right, let's get out of here.
Yes.
Thanks. I'll talk to you later.
Hey, man, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
No problem. Peace.
See ya.
I'm not Captain Saberho. No, 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 really no. I'm not Captain Saberho. Yeah, no, 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 no. Look, I'm not like this in the slightest. I'm attracted to intelligent chicks that think righteous.